This
What do you-
conference will now be recorded.
Good evening. The time being 6 p.m., I'll call to order the Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 meeting of the Tilton Planning Board. Let the records show that we do have a full board. We do have one open spot currently. We do have a board and we have a quorum. First on our agenda, this being the first meeting of the new cycle, so to speak, we need to select officers. So first up is the chair position. Who would like to make a nomination for anybody to be chair?
I'll make a nomination to re-elect Eric.
Second.
There's motion and a second. Those two? Pick. I heard them at exactly the same time. Is there any other? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I will abstain. Thank you. I'm happy to serve. Next is vice chair. Oh, who vice
Who's our
chair?
current?
I don't know. Are you?
I think I am.
I'll make a motion to nominate Jane Alden as vice chair.
Second.
Any discussion? Any other nominees? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations. Another year. All right, moving on. Thank you for your patience as we progress. First up on our agenda is Granite State Communities LLC. Planning Board Case 26-02, Bear Road and Sherwood Drive, pardon me, map R18, lots 25-49 and 25-57 in the rural agricultural zone. It's a condo conversion. This is continued from our February 24th, 2026 meeting, and this is a condo conversion with no physical changes. And I believe that we just received, did we just get this
From Byron, yes.
from?
Yes, we just received
We
that.
just,
yeah.
that's not it. That's for the other case.
Oh, okay.
We just got a letter from Byron. I think.
Oh, sorry.
We just received a Keachin Nostrum for the other case about 4 o'clock this afternoon, quarter to
Okay.
4.
All right. Has everyone had a chance to read this one email?
No.
Pardon me, I'm just going to read it.
That's a attorney-client.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
No, I'm not going to read it in the I'm just going to read it for my own.
Okay.
Um, Everyone had a chance to read?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I'm terribly sorry. I forgot your name.
That's okay. Good evening, board members. My name's Chris Swiniarski. I'm an attorney with Divine Millimet, representing Granite State Communities, the applicant. As Mr. Chairman said, we began this at the February meeting of the board, and we continued it, as I recall, primarily for the town's legal counsel to review the declaration. I understand that has happened, and while I don't have your privilege memo, I understand that generally there were no issues with the declaration, and that there was a recommendation that the approval be conditioned upon the final declaration being reviewed by the planning board, which we have no objection to. I also understand some typos were caught. It may be shocking, but I didn't actually draft that from scratch. I used a template that I had used before, and I missed one of the changes. Other than that, I believe when I was speaking with Pat that there was some unclarity on where the common area actually was. So I submitted a revised plan showing it all shaded so that it's pretty easy to see. And I think that was it. That's all we sort of had up in the air from the last meeting. But if there are any other questions, I'm certainly happy to answer them or to try to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion from the board? Are you going to hand us something, Pat? Oh, okay. Sorry, you got up, so I thought you were going to. And you have paper in your hand. So just to catch up our new board members, so this was a case that came before us in February. And they gave us the what was those documents called again? The condo docs, conversion docs, and we sent those to our attorney to review. So there was just to make sure that everything was good, and so here we are. So that's been done, except for he was on that screen last time, I think.
Up in the mountains, it was February vacation.
All right. Well, no, I just wanted to make sure that's I just in my head I'm like, you weren't here last time.
Yep, correct.
So all right. Anything from the board? I don't.
Do we know if these properties are served by public water or well and septic?
Geez, off the top of my head, I don't know, but
I think it's yeah.
Septic.
Isn't there a water tank back there?
No.
Isn't there a tank back there though? No, that's sorry. Wrong place in my head. Sorry.
I think it is well and septic as well. Not totally sure. Is there sort of a follow-up or what you're getting at? Maybe that I do know the answer to.
Just a question.
Oh, okay. I'm scanning the plan right now to see. I wasn't anticipating that question, so I don't know the answer, but
Yeah, because it probably should be shown on the plan, right? Where the septic is and all that.
yeah, I don't know. But what I can do is, have the final plan that's submitted show that or clarify if it's not in fact well and septic. That's not a problem. I'm just sorry, I don't know the answer.
Are the current residents that occupy the apartment units are invited to speak at the planning board to determine what impact it would cause to them if the conversion is approved.
If it's, when I open it to the public, if there's anyone here.
Okay, but
I
do
don't
they
know.
even know that we're even discussing the future of what they, what the apartment that they currently reside at?
There would, were they not,
I thought there was in the butters list. I
Yeah.
saw somewhere.
I could also provide you all with some insight to that.
We
So,
send a butters list.
Okay, so they were notified as abutters.
They received certified letters, I believe.
so I'm not sure of that, but what I can tell you. Yeah, I don't.
So it's possible that the residents,
The,
Aren't
the
even-
company itself, map R18 lots 49 through 57 went to Granite State Communities LLC. And then because they're the owners,
right?
they went to them for the abutter, on the abutters list.
okay.
It didn't go to them individually. And then around them, it went.
So this could be,
So the residents are aware that we're discussing the future of the apartment units that they currently reside at.
So I don't think that's the case, but let me feel it on the entire situation. So as a residential condominium that's more than 10 units, this has to go through an entire Attorney General's approval process, which requires a notification to all of the residents. It requires their leases, obviously, to be honored throughout their term, and it gives them an option at that point. But as part of this process, the law would not give them notice because they're not a property owner. They're just a tenant on a lease. But as part of the ultimate process, they do get notice.
right, it's a conversion.
Do we owe it to the residents that currently live there as the
No.
planning board process to let them know that this is taking place?
Not a planning board.
No, we do
Nope.
not.
But no,
I'm not even sure that's something that we're supposed to consider as the planning board.
Okay,
Is it? Because they're not property owners, they're not
Okay.
abutters.
Back on, Jane. Push it.
They're-
There you go.
Oh, I thought it's not something that,
It's not under our purview as far as
okay.
the decision-making process on the application.
Good question, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
all right. I don't believe I did this last time. Is there anything more from the board? But I did not open to this to the public, I don't believe, because we didn't, because we continued it.
this is from our attorney if you want to see some.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure we open this hearing to the public. So at 6:13, I'll open it to the public. Is there anyone here from the public for this case? Okay. There's no one online, so we'll just keep it open for now.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
reading last minute notes, it said that we haven't accepted the application either because the case was continued.
Did we? All right, so I guess,
Should be doing that.
all right. So we need to,
I don't have any.
I don't have the application before me, or the minutes maybe. Oh, we got that right here.
Packet. The application.
I don't have it.
So we need to accept the
I
application.
wasn't here last time.
I thought we had to have done something to discuss
We've
it.
already
We did.
Did that.
What did we?
Maybe it was brought to the table and you didn't
Right.
accept. I'm just reading the notes.
It was brought to the table, but it was never voted on.
Accepted.
Okay. It was not voted, so.
Correct.
Are we going to accept it as complete.
No,
prior-
it says at the bottom here, it says the board realized that they did not accept the application as complete. And since they have decided to continue the case, they will do so at the next meeting. So, so I will make a motion to accept the application as being substantially complete.
Second.
Motion a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Abstain.
One abstention. Motion passes. So the application is complete. So, sorry, just a little haphazard. All right. So being 6:16, I'm going to close the public hearing. Bring it back to the board. Any other questions, discussion for this? So I think we need to have the final draft come before us.
Or town council.
Or well, I'm imagining that we would send it to town council,
Mhm.
if that's the wish of the board.
Make a motion to send it to town council.
When it's received.
Yes.
Well, I think what
Final.
the intent was is to make that a condition of the
Condition of
approval,
approval.
Okay.
because that could be a year from now.
Oh, that long, huh?
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
lot that
No,
has to, yeah, no, there's a lot that has to happen with the
I've
Attorney
been on this
General's
board a long
office.
time. This is my first condo conversion that
Yep.
I can recall. So
Understood.
I don't know a lot of things like, okay.
So I think the process that I would expect would happen is, we'll go through all the motions with the Attorney General's office, and when it's signed off by them, because they have to sign off on it, then we would present that back to the board before recording it and actually creating the condominium and starting to, move forward with that. So
So we don't continue this until they're approved. We approve it or deny it, and
You approve it
Prove it
with
conditional.
conditions
Yep.
or deny it
with no conditions.
with no conditions,
Okay.
correct?
All right. So are there any motions to be made by anybody?
I already made a motion.
I forgot your motion, so I'm going to look at you and ask
You need to
if-
speak in the mic,
Yeah.
Jane, please.
I make a motion to send this to the attorney for consideration
Is a condition of approval,
as a
Jane?
as
condition.
a condition of approval.
So you wish to approve it with one of the conditions being
Correct.
that we send the final version to the attorney
Correct.
for review. Any other? Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Nate. Any other discussion?
So for clarification, Mr. Chair, you're making a motion to approve this case number
Yeah, we're kind of doing this a little.
602.
2602.
26-02 with the following conditions: that when the final draft is ready, that he will submit them to the planning board, which we will send it to the attorney, town council for final approval.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
A little convoluted, but yes.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
We had like a couple of weeks off, so we're a little rusty. Sorry. All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention? 1. All those, the motion passes. Sorry.
all right, thank you all very much. Have a great
forth.
night.
Good night.
go and have a nice day.
It's still light out.
It's $25 a cup. I gotta lower my,
Get you.
I gotta, we gotta keep.
Is all the rest of this?
Oh, the first one's free,
Yes,
so you're
all
good.
This is a
All
project.
of it?
Yes.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, this was.
All right. So next on our agenda is Spa Properties LLC, Planning Board Case 26-03, Business Park Drive, map R20, lots 15/2 through 15/5, and 15/11 through 15/13 in the industrial zone. This is resubmission of approved case number Planning Board Case 25-02 for amendments to site plan and reconfigured parking lot for proposed warehouse and distribution center. So this is, they're coming back to the board.
But is this a new application?
Yes, it is a new application.
I make a motion to bring the application to the board.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Bringing a motion, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. So they are before the board. Now we have to go over the application. So it is a brand new application full of all sorts of goodies. The application was behind your agenda if you did not notice that. Right? This is also known as Project Winnie. Okay. Just want to make sure I got the right one.
Yep.
All right.
Pam, if this is more than 3 lots, all these no's are still okay? Says additional required for subdivision of more than 3 lots.
Mhm. They had a prior approval already on 5 lots. They bought 2 additional, so that's why they're doing the re-subdivision. The prior approval was on the 4 lots and 1 for the parking lot. So now they're making the parking lot 3 lots.
You've done no lot mergers yet, have you?
We haven't yet. We know it's a condition of approval for the lots that have already come through site plan approval, and then we anticipate that'll be a condition of
I
approval.
was going to say
the
that
2
will be,
added
that will
ones.
have to be a condition of our approval.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is 7 lots now,
Mhm.
if my math is correct.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to accept the application as substantially complete.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. So, welcome.
Hi, welcome. Let me start by introductions. I'm Emily Gehring. I'm the attorney from Gallagher, Callahan, and Gartrell. I think you guys are used to seeing Ari Pollock, who I certainly am not. I'm just covering for him this evening.
Please change.
With me, I've got a couple of folks here in the audience you're going to hear from. I've got David Gagnon as well as Chris McLean, who are both from Langen, the engineering firm. And then we've also got Leo Layton, who's from SBA Properties, who's the applicant. You'll primarily be hearing from David about what plan changes we've made, but just to sort of orient you for why we're back here tonight. Some of you may recall that back in the spring of 2025, we got a conditional use permit as well as site plan approval. Since that time, the programming has changed a little bit for the actual plans. As Pat said a minute ago, there were 2 adjoining lots on the northerly side of Business Park Drive that SBA is planning to acquire. And what that allowed us to do is to take the parking that's on the north side of Business Park Drive and to make it fit the lot better rather than consolidating it and having sort of extensive retaining walls. It was able to use the property better. We've gone through Concom. We've got the variances now for this sort of remodified parking on those 2 lots. But the primary reason that we're here is because some of the parking counts has changed a little bit. The flow of traffic has changed marginally. And like I said, we're developing 3 northerly lots rather than just 1. I'll kick it over to David in just a moment. What he can do is walk you through the prior plan that was already approved, as well as the modifications that we've made. We submitted our application for the modifications to the site plan as well as the CUP. Some of you might recall that back in 2025, the conditional use permit for being in the groundwater overlay district was approved. It wasn't clear to us if we would certainly need to have a new CUP or not. So out of an abundance of caution, we just packaged it all up together for you guys. But so it's pretty much just a revamping of what you guys have already seen. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dave to actually talk about some of these changes. As you guys can kind of see on the maps how we've modified things.
Great. Thank you, Emily. For the record, my name is Dave Gagnon. I am a civil engineer with Langen Engineering here representing the applicant. And as Emily mentioned, our application here is to amend our previously approved site plan application and conditional use permit for a proposed distribution facility on Business Park Drive. This project was approved by the planning board in May of 2025. We have made some changes to the program, which we will discuss with you, but the function and the use of the property has not changed. I'm going to briefly go through the project history, describe some of these existing conditions, and then walk you through briefly our previously approved plans, and then review our current proposed amended plans. And Emily touched on this, but maybe I'll touch on it just briefly again, just go through the project history. So we kicked off this project in January of 2025, and that was with our presentation to the Concom. So we spoke with them in January of 2025, and then we spoke with them again in February of 2026 to show them our updated plan. We have direct wetland impacts that was reviewed with Concom, in addition to buffer impacts to the 20-foot and 100-foot buffer. We went from there, we went to the Zoning Board of Approval for our variances in February of 2025, and again in February of 2026. Our next stop was the Planning Board in May of 2025, where we received approval for our prior plan. We almost got all the way to the end of the process. So we did receive approvals from the state. We got our alteration of terrain permit in July. We received our dredge and fill permit from the state in September, and we also received DOT approval in September. And that DOT driveway permit was amended and approved to fit our current application in February of this year. So that's a brief history of what we've been doing in the past 2 years. And then this slide in front of you, this is just an existing condition aerial. So I'll just run through this to familiarize everybody with the properties we're discussing. So the project consists of 7 lots, totaling roughly 15 acres. This current proposal adds 2 lots. So there's 3 lots north of Business Park Drive. We are adding the 2 lots on the west side north of Business Park Drive. Each lot is roughly 2 acres. There are additional 4 lots south of Business Park Drive. These remain consistent with our previous application. The project is located in the IN industrial zone. It's bound by light industrial properties to the east. There is the Eversource yard to the kind of northeast of our site. To the southeast of our site is another light industrial use, the Sea Light USA. The property is to the south of us, and to the west of us is wooded. There's also a wetland bog feature south of our property, kind of on the bottom of that map. Sanborn Road is to the west, connecting to Business Park Drive. That is a state road. To the north of the northern lots is mostly wooded, and there is a high tension power line easement kind of running through those top three parcels. Just to give you a sense of the topography, so everything on site wants to drain from the north to the south, so from the top of the sheet to the bottom of the sheet where those wetlands are south of our property. All right. And this was our prior application, which was approved back in May of last year. And I'll give you a quick summary of what was approved. So south of Business Park Drive, you see our distribution facility. It's a last mile facility, just over 50,000 square feet. Employee parking is directly to the east of the building. Truck loading is on the west side of the building. Directly south of the building is basically the van loading. So there is kind of a one-way loop entering on the east side, going to the south of the building where there is a canopy, vans to be loaded, and then exit on the west side of the property. There is one lot north of Business Park Drive, and this was for fleet van parking. So we had 71 van spaces there. And a few things to note. We did receive several variances for this application, and I could start on the north side. So there was a retaining wall on the west side and the east side of that parking lot north of Business Park Drive to build within the setbacks. We'll discuss in our current application, we took that wall out of the setbacks, so we received a variance for that. There's also a wall south of the development, south of Business Park Drive, and that wall was also in the setback. It was within 5 feet of the property line. You'll see that we improved that condition as well. We also had some direct wetland impacts. There was a couple fingers that extend south to north into our property. So we did have some direct wetland impacts to those fingers, their associated buffers, and there was also a 100-foot buffer associated with those blocks. So we received variances for all those impacts as part of our previous application. So and this is our proposed amended condition. As I mentioned, the function and the use of the property has not changed. We'll start with the southern lots. So we're still speaking to the same 4 lots. The building stayed in the same location, and the building size is actually slightly shrunk. So we reduced the building size by roughly 2,000 square feet. The overall development area of those 4 southern parcels did shrink slightly as well. So we shrunk the development area by roughly 2%, which allowed us to kind of improve some of those variances that we had before. As far as kind of the site function, the employee parking is still on the east side of the building. There's a parking field there. We did reduce the size of the parking lot by 10 spaces. The bigger change to these southern properties is the loading for the van. Previously it was on the south side of the building. We moved it to the east side of the building. And really what was driving that was some internal reconfiguration of the building. So I think some of the conveyor belts and some of the internal processes changed, which made it more sense to kind of have that van loading on the east side of the building. Truck loading maintained is still on the west side of the building. So generally things are the same there. One thing I would note is that we did reduce our direct wetland impacts on these southern parcels. We reduced our 20-foot wetland impact, and we also reduced our 100-foot buffer kind of wetland impact. We were also able to, we received relief on the retaining wall south of the property. So previously that was within 5 feet of the property line. We needed a variance to do that, and now we shifted it 10 feet away from the property line. So that's kind of another improvement that we made. So if you look north of Business Park Drive, this is really kind of the larger change. We did add 2 parcels to accommodate more van parking. So what we did is we added more van parking there. We were able to take that wall out of the setbacks, so we are no longer relying on that variance on the north side of Business Park Drive. So we added van parking. We also added some EV parking up there. So we're currently showing, I think it's 61 EV spaces in those van lots. So that concludes my presentation. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
You mentioned vans and vans and vans. Are these delivery vans or are they employees or what? Are
Yeah. These are basically delivery vans. So these are the vans that would pick up the parcels and ultimately deliver those parcels to your home.
So more vans, does that mean more employees? are gonna be there?
No, I think the employee count generally stayed the same. So with the current program, they're less dependent on, I guess, contract drivers or flex drivers, and it's more company vehicles that are being stored on site.
What is the parking space count now in the northern parcels? And I guess what was the
Yeah.
difference as far as the increase?
Okay, so I'm going to do this from memory. I think there's 198 van spaces on those northern parcels, and previously I think there was 71.
71.
Yeah.
71.
Does that 198 include the 61 EV spots that you
It
mentioned?
does.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So there's 198 van spaces on that north side of the road. There's 101 employee parking spaces on the east side of the building, and then another 36 on the south side of the building. I'm not real good at math, but that's only 137 employee parking spaces. And you're saying that there's going to be 198 van spaces. So where are the other 60 or so people?
Yeah, so they're different. They're for different functions. So the people parking south of Business Park Drive, they're working in the facility itself. And if you're operating the van, you would park in that van parking lot, park your car there, and then pick up the fleet van and go from there.
So you arrive to work, you pull out your van, you park your car where your van was.
Exactly, or right next to it, or in that same.
Well, if you're
kind of
right next to it,
vicinity.
you're still taking up.
2 spaces.
You're taking up 2 spaces.
Yeah, it was taken into account. I mean, there's plenty of space to accommodate that van fleet and the employee parking there.
So there's going to be more vans and employees.
Yeah, I think there'll probably be an excess of vans.
So essentially, you need twice the number of parking spaces in those northern lots as the vans you have, because your employees who aren't working in the distribution facility itself will be parking there
exactly.
because they're not taking the vans home with them as, work
Exactly. Yeah, they have to
vehicles.
park somewhere.
Okay.
Yep.
You also indicated, I believe, that some of the vans will be stored there.
Yes. Yep, they'll be there overnight.
Well, would it be correct to assume that all or the majority of the vans will be stored there overnight every night because shift work?
Yes, that's our intention.
Okay.
Yep.
The nighttime delivery that brings all the packages to the distribution facility, are they only going to come in from Laconia Road from the south onto Sanborn and then make a right, or are they coming in from the north?
Yeah, that's our understanding.
They won't be
Right.
coming in from the north.
Right.
Just-
They're going to come from the interstate and then.
Okay.
Yep.
So I feel like we're just peppering you with questions, so apologize.
That's why I'm here.
Just to the east of the building, it says van exterior loading. So what's the queue of vans that would be parked there loading?
So that's
I don't remember that from the first presentation, so.
I believe in the first iteration, they would have been queued in the loop. and
Oh, they
then-
were down, they were down below, but how many, it's a multi-part question.
So there's 20 spaces. So there's like a van kind of launching area, which you could see, I guess, south of the employee parking lot. So
Right.
that's a 4x5 grid. So the vans will pull up there, they'll queue in that location.
Yeah.
When they get their notification, they'll drive to the canopy, and then there's another 4x5 grid, so 20 spots for the vans to park, get loaded, and leave the site.
So at the most, in my head, I visualize, and this is an incorrect thought, but there's not going to be 200 vans leaving
No,
at one time.
no.
There's going to be 20 vans that go out, and then, because I'm going to assume, maybe I hate using the word assume, but I'm going to assume that a majority of those those vans are going to make a left turn out of Business Park Drive.
Yeah, I think that's fair to assume. And Chris, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But yeah, these vans they're traveling locally. So whoever's placing the order, they're going to go to the town. So there's going to be, residents to the north, residents to the south, but I think there's a higher density likely to the south.
Right.
And and the first part of your question or statement is correct. There's not going to be 200 vans leaving all at once. There's going to be a maximum of 20 because there's only 20 vans that can be loaded at one time.
about how far apart do those vans leave?
Yeah.
Like, are they,
We had it.
is it, I don't know how long it takes to load up a delivery van, so.
So we're being told about every 15 minutes.
Some of this, I didn't.
Yeah, and we do have an updated traffic memo that we submitted. That
I read it, and I have belief and disbelief about some of the traffic numbers just because, but they go in the morning, someone goes in the morning, and then they leave to go make their deliveries, then they come back, and then those people leave during the day, and then, wow. My concern is that at that traffic light, is it going to be able to handle the load of 20 vehicles leaving at once? Is it gonna, again, there's only 2 lanes at that traffic light going left or right. That's really your only option, unless
Mhm.
I'm sure there'll be one going across the street, but they're all going to be in that. They got to go right or left, and I don't know percentages, and I'm sure this company has that down to a science of where they're going to go, but the traffic, the first time it was 70 vans. Okay, that whatever, they'll go, but now you're talking, 20 vans at a time.
Yeah.
And for 2 hours, really, if you do the math, it's, would you say every 15 minutes?
Yes, all very good questions. I think I'm going to kick it to our traffic engineer for kind of a detailed response on that. So this is Chris McLean. He's our traffic engineer who put together the traffic report.
Thanks, Dave. So just to introduce myself, Chris McLean from Langen, the traffic engineer. So we put together the initial traffic study for the bottom plan, and then we provided an updated one. So kind of as Dave mentioned, the main change, I guess, with the old and the new is they're less reliant on contract drivers. So it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for somebody a driver to arrive on site, park their car next to the van that they're going to drive, get in the van, and then pull their van out and kind of arrive at the staging area that's kind of south of Business Park Drive. And from there, they're kind of waiting. So it takes about 15, 20, even 30 minutes sometimes for them to arrive, kind of do all that stuff on site, get loaded up, and then leave. And that, like we've kind of mentioned, they are kind of in platoons, in groups of 20 or so. But it does take some time. They're generally leaving, within the same, 15-minute block. And then it's rolling throughout the day. Not every van is going to be used every day. there's some flexibility in there. So there's really the understanding that they, the van lot is kind of ready to go for, the size of deliveries that they need to do on a daily basis. But they are leaving the vans there overnight, and and just like everybody else's cars normally, vans do break down. So there's going to be, a handful of extra vans there that they're going to be stored as an extra, serviced regularly offsite, like you would do with a regular fleet vehicle. So, and then as far as traffic offsite goes, as part of the initial study, and we did analyze all the traffic lights up and down Route 3 and reviewed those in detail with New Hampshire DOT to make sure that they were comfortable with the additional traffic that we would be kind of adding to the main corridor there. New Hampshire DOT also is undertaking a corridor study on Route 3 to kind of retime some of the traffic lights for some of, especially around vacation season, summertime, and things like that. And so they incorporated a lot of our traffic volumes into their study. So they're kind of accounting for a lot of that. When we reached out to them again for this amendment, we kind of weren't entirely sure what level of detail they were going to need in terms of this amendment. So we sent them the updated employee headcount, the new site plan, and they said, we're not too concerned with any of the additional traffic that you guys would be generating from that. So they were able to actually pretty quickly re-up our driveway permit for the intersection of Business Park Drive and Sanborn Road. So the New Hampshire DOT was comfortable with the changes to the traffic light. They're incorporating some future development for the corridor there. So we feel pretty comfortable with the additional traffic.
So you stated, using your example, that these vans will be loaded as platoons.
Yohei, can you talk into the mic, please? Thank you.
So using your example that these vans will be packaged up as platoons, I'm not a logistics expert, but I'm assuming that most of these packages will all be going to a similar destination. Is that correct?
So van drivers will have a route designated to them at the beginning of each day, and most deliveries, go to residentially dense areas. Their routes are going to change almost every day, and each route is going to be a little bit different. But they're leaving in groups because it's easier to load a few vans at once rather than have one van be loaded. And then, there's actually some safety concerns with having, one van be loaded at a time. So they kind of group them together.
So I guess a better way for me to ask the question is, on Laconia Road, is it going to be set up in such a way that not all 20 vans will be making the left turn? It's going to be evenly distributed so that, my counterpart here stated, that, you want to make sure that one road is not being overly congested over the other.
Yeah. While the routes are pre-designated, I think every day and every route and every 15 minutes, it might not be intentionally balanced, but they don't necessarily want to be clogging up the traffic there.
So the DOT study, was it based on even distribution, or was it based on random factors being tied into that study?
Yeah, the great question. So when we ran the distributions throughout all of the existing traffic, there were more left turn. We did plan for more left turns coming southbound to go left onto Route 3 to head towards the lakes, because there are more people that live up there that would be receiving packages. So our original design and, this amended version does take that into account for, a decent, 20 left turns occasionally. And if you think about 20 cars over 15 minutes, that's like one every minute. And while they might be grouped up a little bit more than that, I always, when I'm trying to explain traffic engineering principles, I try to think about it in terms of, cars per minute, because it's a little bit more digestible.
Yeah, but you have a traffic light that traffic light's not gonna stay green for 15 minutes. It's gonna, 2 minutes,
Space them out.
and then it's gonna flush them.
Yeah, excuse me, I just want to make a quick point that on the plan that was previously approved, the volume of actual trips was fairly similar. It's just that instead of having contract drivers, we're having fleet vehicles. So we're not, the actual change in overall trips was very de minimis. So I just don't want the board to think that now we're introducing some huge magnitude of trips that weren't approved in our first go. It's that instead of having contract drivers who come in the morning with their vehicle, pick up and head out, you just have on-site vehicles. So we are talking about pretty comparable, and hopefully these guys will jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. I think the numbers in our traffic study are at something like 22 AM trips and 24 PM trips. I might have those flipped around, but so we're talking about a very small percentage change from what was already approved the last time.
Thank you.
Yohei, we have those here if you'd like to read them.
So I had a couple of questions for the traffic engineer as well. So what is the service area or delivery radius for this facility? Is it houses or buildings within 10 miles, 25 miles, 150 miles? And then is this supplementing existing delivery vehicles that you have in that radius, or is it replacing them so they're no longer coming from a different facility and they're going out locally versus coming up from Concord or whatever?
Leo, do you want to?
I can answer that last question. My name is Leo Layton. I'm here representing the applicant, SPA Properties. And so to answer your question, it is more or less supplementing the packages that are already being delivered, whether it's from a third party or from a location further away. So it's not like these will be all new trips on the local roads. It's really, taking the place of trips that are already occurring from either a different operator or the operator from a further away location.
Okay, thank you.
In a minute, they'll open.
Yeah, when I open it to the public, is it 7 days a week?
Yes, 7 days a week.
I got a question about return, because in my head I'm flashing forward to a July weekend on a Friday afternoon. How do it's probably impossible to predict, but the return volume of vehicles, and I don't know if any traffic study takes into account on a Friday, if the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion has a concert, there's a lot of extra traffic going through town. And I'm just thinking of that. Like, again, making left turns, there's only so much queue that you can make that left turn. And because between that traffic light and to the west, there's another traffic light at the northbound ramps of exit 20.
Mm-hmm.
You also have a business that there's a break in the, there's no
break in the median. Yeah, I think
well, there is a break in the median, so everyone can go through. And I'm just thinking, I'm just worried about traffic backing up at that left turn lane and blocking that ingress and egress from those businesses right there.
Yeah. So when we did our really detailed analysis with New Hampshire DOT, we did look at left turning volumes. We did look at the availability of storage, we'll call it, in between the traffic lights, and then how long the cars kind of back up. And with our added traffic, and then eventually the New Hampshire DOT's corridor study, we were able to show that the queues wouldn't necessarily back up all that far. As far as returns go, like I said, every route is kind of different. I think it's fair to say that the leaving the site here from the van in kind of the platoons, we'll call it, is probably going to be more concentrated volume than the returns would be, because all the routes, they don't necessarily overlap all that much. And so they're all going kind of to different various places. And so they're going to be coming back, even, multiple minutes in between each one. So there's going to be a little bit more spread out.
Okay. Oh, no, there's in the next town over, there's another distribution facility. But when those trucks come back, they all got to get fuel and things like that. But and you go by at certain times and all those trucks are parked at the gas pumps. So, kind of just basing on as a layman.
I just wanted to add one more thing too about the trips. So, it's obviously in the operator's best interest to not actually have their peak hour be lined up with the local peak hour.
Yep.
So they've structured it in a way where, the bulk of the trips when it is heaviest will not line up with the local traffic, school getting in and out, things like that.
So as far as the initial launching of the fleets in the morning, do you guys, will it be staggered start times, or is it 70 drivers showing up at 6 a.m. and then sitting in their vans waiting potentially a couple hours to get loaded and then
Their arrival time is structured around when their route is supposed to leave. So when they arrive is kind of 15, 20 minutes before they're supposed to have their van loaded up and leave. So staggered throughout the morning. and afternoon.
okay, so it's not 70 people showing up at 6 a.m. It would be whatever the group size
15,
is, every
15,
15 minutes
yeah, right.
employees come in, get their vans, pull in, so it's
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to be a stickler because I'm always a stickler about this one issue.
Mhm.
I count, unless I miscounted. So you have 7 handicap spaces. On the south side of the building.
For the, I guess. Yeah, that's correct.
So I guess my question is, it's 25 parking spaces per one handicap space. So you need to add a couple handicap spaces because you have at least 198 spaces. I haven't added them all up. Unless unless I don't believe the law has changed or the rules. I don't know what the law, but the rules are. It's generally one handicap, one handicap per 25 parking spaces.
So we could double check that, and if we're deficient ADA spaces, we could certainly add that. It's my understanding that we meet the requirements, so there is a table, and it's not a straight ratio. It's depending on the overall parking that you have on site. But if we're shy ADA spaces, we could gladly add those.
Okay, thank you. The time being, does anyone else from the board have anything?
So the Conservation Commission sent us a few
You
recommendations. Is
need
that
to
to be?
talk into your mic. Yeah, thank you.
The Conservation Commission, based on the submission of the Stormwater Management Report dated March 16, 2026, sent a few comments. Is that to be discussed now or after the public comments? Now.
No. Yeah, that would be for us to discuss or question them or discuss.
Or make a condition.
Or
Yeah,
make
we
it,
can make a condition later on.
Yeah.
Based on what they've said. But they make recommendations only, not,
Right.
we're not bound with those.
the Conservation Commission is
Advisory.
non-binding, they're an advisory board. So
Yep.
what they say we can adapt or not adapt, whatever they recommend. You can take some of it, you can take all of it, you can take none of it.
Yep.
No offense to the board.
Do you have any of your permits back yet? Have they
Um,
all been filed?
So we filed our stormwater permit We don't have that one back yet. That was filed, our amendment about a month ago. We did get our DOT permit back, so our amendment was approved.
That was the one I was concerned about.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
do have that one. We got that one back early February.
Okay.
So with this change in the additional lots, I take it there's a new stormwater management report that is done. And that's the one that's
Make sure you
being
talk into your
reviewed.
microphone.
That's the one being reviewed and approved.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And it was also reviewed, you probably got a letter, later this afternoon. There was a third-party reviewing engineer, so they did review our stormwater report, and I think they might have had a couple comments in there, but, we agree with all those comments and are happy to take those as a condition.
Mr. Chair, that's Keach and Nordstrom's report, just for the
We ha-
newcomers here. That's the third-party review.
And he did make comments, not a lot of changes or recommendations with the stormwater management.
Yes.
We only got this afternoon, so we really haven't had a chance to review it in detail, but
Yeah, I think there's a couple stormwater comments at the very end. I believe one was on some inverts of a few structures, which we're happy to address.
yes, he did.
And there was another one, I think there was a call out that referred to the incorrect detail sheet. So we could modify that as well.
Talked about being compliant with the Tilton groundwater protection ordinance.
Correct.
And let's see what else.
Just because you mentioned water, I swear I read on the old plan that the water tank behind there was only 30,000 gallons, and now it's 120,000.
It got bigger.
Okay.
It did get bigger, so
I
you're not
just wanna
making
make-
that up.
Okay, I just-
Yeah, good memory.
I spend a lot of time alone in the car, so. And is there a,
One of the things he says for improved storm drainage hydraulics, we recommend reviving the drawing with a vertical drop across drainage structures equal to the difference in inflowing and outflowing pipe diameters.
Yeah, and that's a good comment, and that's fair, and we could address that.
There weren't any major things in it, though.
No.
propane farm or natural gas?
It's all electric, so there's neither
Oh.
gas nor propane.
Oh, okay. There goes that thought.
I don't think any of that changed.
You can't
All it
get
changed-
natural gas in Tilton.
Well, that's why I was.
That's what
I
we
just-
heard.
No, I knew that. This is the case that we learned about that last year, and I was just like, and I for some again, I thought I read there was a propane farm in there, but maybe not.
Nope.
All right, sorry,
Not us.
I was looking for the farm. I apologize. All right, how's the board doing?
Good.
The time being 7:03 p.m. I'm going to open this up to the public, and Pat is going to. Yeah. So please make sure you identify yourself for the record and speak into the microphone.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Chet Berger. I live at 112 School Street in Tilton. I have two questions. First, the New Hampshire DOT traffic study, has that been published and is it available to the public?
Yeah. It's right up there.
It's some light reading.
I used to do this in a previous life, so. Well, I don't need to see it now, but can I come by and review it at some point? Because I want to make sure that they took into consideration the delays that, the additional delays that potentially will be incurred along. Yeah, so I would like to review that report if possible.
I think they said also that DOT has taken it into account
Yeah,
in
but I'd like to look at what their models
Okay.
were and how they did it. The second thing, and maybe there's been discussion about this already, but is there going to be significant lighting in the parking lots? And the reason why I ask is the Vista, I forget what it's called, the Vista View or whatever. There's a large.
Oh, make sure you're talking to the microphone.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm looking on the map right now. Yeah, there's a Vista Heights development, and it looks over the site. And I'm just curious whether or not there's going to be significant lighting and whether or not that's going to increase the amount of light pollution that they experience.
Sure.
So as part of our site plan application, we did submit a lighting plan and a photometric plan. I will note that the lighting regulations in Tilton are fairly stringent, and we are compliant with the lighting ordinances. So just in summary, we have a maximum pole height of 15 feet. They are all dark sky compliant. They're full cutoff LED fixtures, and we meet all the kind of the light output criteria set forth by the town. So
Thank you very much.
I think you said something about lighting. Looking to see what he said.
Is there anyone else here from the public? Oh, this gentleman, sir.
Yes, my name is Peter Spear. I'm a Tilton resident and a member of the Conservation Commission here to speak on their behalf for the letter that you have already received.
Okay.
Some of our concerns have been addressed tonight. Others of them have not yet been considered. We felt because this site drains in, north to south, into a very good down gradient wetland immediately adjacent to this project. So we had suggested that oil separators and basically sand or any other material that comes off the large impervious surface of this project be routed through these separators that would prevent any materials or floatable materials and sand or other detritus from going into the wetland. That has, to our knowledge, that has not been done. And we asked when they came before our board that they strongly considered doing so. To our knowledge, that has not been done. We did ask for 100-year flood analysis instead of a 25 or 50-year study. Snow storage was another one of our major considerations. They indicated that they would like to do it on site with into the immediately adjacent undeveloped portions of the property. There aren't a lot of undeveloped portions of the property, and this this area is a major movement corridor for wildlife north and south to and from that wetland. And while we're not opposed to, everybody that dots their I's and crosses their T's correctly, we're not opposed to development. We just want to see that whatever whatever movement corridors will remain are allowed to prosper. And if you place huge piles of snow on the very thin areas, which the undeveloped north-south areas along the property perimeters and along the wetlands, it'll just crush any young plants or any shrubs or trees that are, attempt to grow there. And it will just be an ongoing problem. It'll never develop. So we ask that they either take the snow off site or store it on site on the pavement. We strongly ask
I
them
think we
to
did that in the site plan.
do that, and we're not aware that it has been considered. We also ask that large boulders or some other inanimate object would prevent the snow removal operator, because all this comes down to a decision made by a snowplow operator during a snowstorm. But we don't want that to happen. We don't want them to just be able to do the easiest thing and plow up onto these areas. We'd like them to be prohibited from doing so. Furthering the idea about this being a north-south movement corridor for wildlife, we ask that 1,500 2 to 3 gallon containerized native shrubs and trees be planted in the undisturbed, not as landscaping in the disturbed areas, but in the undisturbed narrow strips of land between the on the exterior of the property and on the interior where there are a few wetlands. That's all I had for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there was one other thing. I'm sorry. There was one other thing, and I've been asked to have you read our letter into the minutes of the planning board meeting so that they will become an official item of record. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe what you have in front of you is a 4-page packet. So in the second page is a letter dated February 17th, 2026 from the Concom that's on Concom letterhead. We'd received that previously following the meeting that we attended. So everything that's in that letter has been addressed in our plans, and certainly Dave can walk through how all that's been addressed. The March 19th letter is something that we've never seen before. We're not entirely sure where that letter came from or which minutes it was based off. So I just want to raise that for the board to any extent there's sort of a suggestion that the Concom made recommendations that we haven't followed. We did follow everything that's in the official letter from February 17th, 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you address the items on the February 17th, one was to accommodate a 100-year storm. So that's number one on this new one. That's all set. Yeah.
Yeah, I could speak to that. So the state requires us to look up to the 50-year storm. So that's what our stormwater report details. But we did, just as a matter of safety, look internally up to the 100-year storm, and we are reducing flows up to the 100-year storm. So we can accommodate the 100-year storm. So that has been thought about and worked into the design.
Thank you.
Could you point out the snow storage on there real quick?
Yeah. So the snow storage is all within the paved area. It's not detailed on this rendering, but it's on your site plan. So there is some dashed lines that identify the snow storage area.
Which page or which map?
Yeah.
Is it on the big maps, Leo?
Yeah, it should be on the CS 100 plans.
Is that I'm open to the overall site plan.
Yeah, overall site plan. And there's some kind of on the perimeters of the parking areas, there is a dashed line with a call out for snow storage area.
So it does look like snow storage will take up some parking spots too.
Yes, it will.
When when, so if I'm looking at this overall site plan, drawing number CS 100, on the, it says 101 employee parking spaces, the spaces to the,
Correct. Directly on the east side, there's a kind of a dashed
Yep.
oval looking. So that's the
Yeah.
intent for the snow storage area.
so if that is, and then same thing on the areas across the street, it looks like you're directionally challenging me. The northern spaces look like they have a dash.
Hmm.
So when those are full, or you can no longer push snow into those areas, are you going to remove it off site?
Yeah, we would have to.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that that's what I'm seeing. Thank you. Oh, it's also on the, actually, on both lots across the street, there's on the east side, the eastern spaces, the western spaces, the northern spaces, and on the left lot, I'll call it the eastern spaces of the left lot, it looks like you have snow dashes, quite a bit of snow storage.
Yeah,
So when
yeah,
they
that-
push it across the street?
Well, that's to accommodate just the van lot.
Okay.
So they're going to be kind of handled independently.
Okay.
And I would note, at our Concom meeting, one of the concerns is there is some wetlands in between the two parking fields in the van lot. And Concom was concerned about, we're identifying snow storage within the parking area. So when the snow melts, it could run through our stormwater management system and get filtered and cleaned. They were concerned about people just kind of dumping the snow into the wetlands. So what we did is we did put a fence on the west side of the wetlands to prevent people from actually dumping that snow directly into the wetlands. So that was a comment received by Concom, and it was kind of addressed in this submission.
Okay, so that's snow storage and then the 100-year, and then the other concern was oil water separators.
Yeah, and we accommodated that as well. So we're not calling them oil water separators. They're water quality units. So they function the same. What they do is they separate the oil, the water, but in addition to that, they filter a lot of the different grits and suspended solids that you would kind of accumulate in stormwater runoff.
And this is in the stormwater plan, or is it directly on this plan?
Yeah, it's on our CG series. So it's in our, it's kind of the calculations in our stormwater report, in our plan, they're in the grading and drainage plans, which is the CG 100 series.
Would that be in this? Oh, CG 100.
Yes.
Hold on. Oh, there it is.
So I guess the only thing not addressed was larger trees and shrubs or did we already cover that? In the undisturbed
yeah.
areas?
Well, in any of our disturbed areas within those wetland buffers, so the 100-foot buffer, the 50-foot buffer, whenever we're disturbing those buffers to regrade, we are replanting those buffers per our discussion with Concom. We are not planting in the undisturbed areas, so in any kind of woods or kind of areas we're not touching.
That answer all your questions?
Yes, Peter Spear again.
Hold on. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
That answers my question, but it denies the need for any of these plantings that I've suggested or that we have suggested. And I forgot to enter this into the record too, which is a planting plan, which was also included, I believe, with the Conservation Commission's submission plan, but just to make sure that it's there. So we do still, believe that plantings within the undisturbed wetlands and buffers and perimeter areas, which are illustrated on that map, be planted with some shrubs and native trees, just to encourage, those areas will be shocked. They're treed now. They will regenerate on their own. We're just asking that something be done to speed that regeneration so the movement corridor for wildlife will be enhanced. Thank you.
Yes.
Are you willing to take a question from someone
Oh,
Rick,
oh, I,
online?
oh,
Mitchell.
online?
yeah, I will, anyone online that wishes to speak, please make sure you identify yourself.
Yeah, Charles Mitchell, resident of Tilton, also on the Conservation Commission. My question about the 100-year storm. I spent a considerable amount of time going through the storm and drainage report, and everything in that report, including all of the data in that report, the one that was just recently left at Town Hall, did not have anything in there about a 100-year storm. Now, I just heard that, well, their system can handle it, but I'm not sure that you have received any kind of updated data that would actually include that. And I'm not sure that if the outside consultant actually, if he reviewed this report, did he review a report that would actually have the 100-year storm data? And as we know right now, we've been getting these 100-year storms more frequently, so we think it's important. Thank you.
Yeah, and I could speak to that. In our stormwater report, it only analyzes up to the 50-year because that's the state requirement, and that was what was reviewed by the state and by the third-party reviewing engineer. So no, they have not seen the calculations for the 100-year because it's not a requirement of the town or the state.
But you said you did it internally, so you have figures and whatnot?
Correct. They haven't been published or submitted, but we did look at it internally.
So the report could be updated with 100-year storm figures.
Yes, we could do that.
I just have a question back on permits. I know you just got a renewed DOT one, but you mentioned like a dredge and something and some other permit. How long do those last for?
I'm not too
Because
sure.
it didn't sound like renewals. They were still the same ones that you got approved. So I don't know how long those last.
Yeah, Emily, do you know how long they last for? Yeah, and I may have a copy of them. It's probably at least a couple years, and we're amending those approvals.
Oh, they'll be amended. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not relying on the initial approval. We have to, speak with the various agencies again and resubmit.
Okay.
You have an AOT permit, right?
For the
I
first,
thought I heard you say that. I thought I heard.
yeah, we do for the first application, and we filed an amended application for AOT back in March. We haven't heard back yet from the state.
I thought I heard you say that, so I gotta have you have them. Sorry. I get yelled at when you don't have.
Certainly. With those permits, we anticipate that those would be conditions of approval like in any other, and like we had the first time around, that we'll have to get those finalized and then submitted to the town.
I would assume you'll need new permits for DES as well, for alteration of terrain,
Yes, so we'll
and a wetlands permit from them as well.
exactly. So those are the revised dredge and fill and the
Okay.
revised AOT.
So going back to the tree and shrubbery question, in the disturbed areas, how many trees and shrubs are you planning to plant on the properties as part of this project?
So I don't have a specific quantity, but you can see that detailed in the landscape plan. So whenever there was a buffer, we did provide dense vegetation. Thank you.
Is that LP?
Yeah, it's the
501?
LP series, kind of towards the end.
Yeah, I see one that says LP 501. It says planting notes and details. Oh, that's just notes. LP 101.
101.
Yeah, that has
501 says planting.
101. 101 is the actual diagram. Sorry.
Yeah, and you can see the areas closest to the
501 is
wetlands.
Detail.
Yeah, so the LP 101 is the southern side and LP 102 is the northern side.
Mhm. Yep, yep, yep. That's a lot.
All right.
That's a detail. Mhm. You ever had the island planters? The island, yeah. Deciduous trees.
Mhm.
Yep. I think
I should be closing this. At the time being 7:25, I'm going to close the public hearing portion of this and bring it back to the board. It's already at the board, but there's a
I think we should go over.
we have to take what's
This is a letter from Keach.
yeah, I lost that. Oh, here it is. Is that dated March 24th?
Yeah, I've got it. Here I'm gonna underline the stuff he said. Included.
Okay. Well, we have that's number one. We have that's
Well, number one will need to
And we
include the other
need-
lots.
well, we got to change the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need those to be submitted.
Yeah, that would be in the final.
Yeah.
I mean, you can add the condition of third-party report, any comments and
Mhm.
recommendations,
Yeah.
instead of just going individual.
Mm-hmm.
Pat,
Mm-hmm.
in our original notice of decision, we state zoning ZBA, the February 18th, 2025 meeting. Was there additional variances granted at February
After
20,
that?
in February
No.
26th? Was there an additional variance?
No, they only went for the variance. Right? They only went for the one variance. Yeah.
Okay, no, I just,
And
it's,
we
Yeah,
have
just
those
one
notes.
variance.
yeah, I just want to make sure, like, we have to amend
Mm-mm.
previous, because we have to add, we have to, if it's approved, we have to add in our list of conditions, we have to add the new lots, the additional lots.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure we don't need to
Yep.
reference
Right.
other
No.
approvals.
Correct.
I think I made sense. A lot of people here.
To me, it did.
Huh?
To me, it did.
Okay. That's really all that matters. Sorry. Yeah. I don't understand mine yet, so that's good.
1, 2, 3, 1, 5, and
We have
1,
some
11.
different people than the last time you were here, so it's good.
Just a clarification question. Back in 25, they were just, it said lots 1-2 through 1-5 and 111.
Yep.
Now it says
We're gonna-
15/2.
I'm gonna read that in.
Oh, okay. They're all different numbers.
Well, there's the two additional, can't find my notes.
But even the originals, these say lots 15/2. We had 1-2. So which one's right?
It's right here.
Yep. Right.
So you gotta amend all those,
We
Yeah.
have lot 1.2
but that's not anymore. It's 15
through 1.5, 1.11, 1.13.
Now it's 15.
It's just the way the agenda was written. That's how I read it. So I apologize. It was written as lots 15/2, 15/5. And when I say slash, like,
Yeah.
and then 1511 through 1513. And before it was just 1511. So 12 and 13 are the additional lots on the north side. The south side lots did not change.
Did the
Am I
lot,
understand right? Correct. Thank you.
so the lot numbering on the map got updated at some point?
Oh, I'm coming to this new, so don't.
Oh, we got it. Yeah, you just got to go to the, sorry.
You can really tell I'm new to this. No, on some of the older documents, they are listed as R20-1-2 and R20-1-3. In the more current versions, they're listed as R20-15-1, R20-15-2. That very last number is the same. So we're dealing with lots 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the southerly side, and then 11, 12, and 13 on the northerly side.
I'm just trying to understand the reason for the lot numbers changing.
I
It's a
think that's
matter
at
of
the town
interpretation.
level. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
You say potato, I say potato.
Correct.
I mean, we can say also known as lots.
I was just reading
They were
what the
different.
agenda said, so I
Yeah.
thought. Sorry for the confusion. Because on our engineering, it's dashes, and on this it's slashes. They're all the same.
And we say we need a lot merger. We need it done at the Belmont Registry of Deeds. So that's what we will need to
Belknap.
see. I mean, Belknap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Belmont.
But we haven't given anything yet. So, all right. So, anything else from the board? We'll take a take a quick moment. We got to just come up with our list of conditions, and I don't want to sit here and just mumble them. So I'm just gonna take a quick second while we organize our thoughts to go over, or we'll have discussion. So, on our original decision, we just have to modify it to add the lot. The
Yeah,
additional
number
lot.
1, yeah,
Yeah. So the number 2,
is the same.
same thing.
Yeah.
Number 5.
I mean, they're all of them are the same, except for
yeah.
number 1.
Number
Just pop it this way.
Yeah, and then,
Right.
but we have to, we have to read each one of these, do we not, into the
Chat?
record? Yeah,
Oh.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a new case, so they're
Yeah.
new conditions.
and then,
We want to add the ADA, Eric, parking, make sure they meet that.
yeah,
And a number of parking spaces.
Yeah, number of spaces. And then,
well, I just update ADA for me, that's,
Okay.
and I always thought in my head, whenever I've been on the board, it's 1 per 25.
on number 7, you're just going to change the date of our third party to the March 24th, 2026. That's the date of the,
We need.
You guys getting this?
Yep.
Okay,
We need the execution.
hold on. What number was that?
number 7
7, thank you.
was to change the date to
No, I
3/24/26.
Yeah, no,
Um,
March 24th, right? 24th. 2026. There you go.
Yes.
I thought you said March 26th.
I think number 6 changed because the impervious is less now, right? Didn't they say
It's
that?
more.
It's a,
It would be
oh, yeah.
more. More.
Yeah,
It's
so-
more. It's
Oh,
really
more.
on
I mean,
the
excuse me,
south
more.
side.
So we got to change that.
Do we have to change the CUP?
Is it exceeding 15%?
Well, I think it was previously exceeding 15%, and it still is exceeding 15.
Well, they
Percent.
shrunk the building,
Yeah, they shrunk the building and they shrunk
but
that.
they added
Oh,
land.
but they added,
They added
okay.
land, so is that
So
CUP,
it's-
whatever the existing CUP is
Okay.
that, do we have to touch that?
Well, isn't there a different permit? Oh, yeah,
I
that's
thought it was
something
in
else.
here.
Okay.
I already had this written in here. So
So does the CPU, not CPU,
Conditional use
CUP
permit.
on May 13th, 2025, is that still in existence for this, or do we need to reissue a new one? Are they applying for one in this?
We did apply for one.
Yeah, there's this. Here it is. right
Part of
here.
the plan.
All right, hold on. I'm a little,
Right there. Eric,
we
on
have
that.
to do this after we
okay,
finish this, okay?
okay.
That's the second thing we have to do.
Yeah,
I got it right here.
All right, they keep
Um,
me in line.
Let's see.
Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Okay. And then,
First thing we have to do is execute and record the merger.
that's number one on our list, but I have my list right here, so I'm on the back side of this. So
Okay.
we have to talk about that.
Mr. Chair, what are you using as a base? The
The 20.
note 25-02?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, got it. Do you have that in?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
All the permits.
I think even if they have some of these, like they have the town driveway approval, we still should list it as the condition in there. Like number 8,
The-
keep that in there.
Okay,
They
yeah.
already got it.
No.
but-
Well, they get another permit for that, don't they?
The drive, if you follow the New Hampshire DOT, that's changed a bit. So the town, yes,
Yeah, so,
because now there's 3 lots,
okay, down, yeah.
only 2,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
3 instead of 1.
So I think all 10 need to be in there still and just some updates plus the ADA parking.
And then the bottom 2, that
The
the
bottom 2,
site
yeah.
plan was granted based on the following.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I mean, most of the things on the conservation are already done. That's on the plan.
But we checked them on the plan to see that they were there.
Yeah. Except for their concern with the 100-year.
But he said that.
He said he could do it. Do we want that as a condition or no?
of which,
He said it,
They said they could
Accommodates.
update their
he said it
plan
already accommodates it.
internal, yeah.
yeah, but if
But it
it's
wasn't
not part of the
reviewed.
record, then
100 years
Right.
is
So-
outdated now,
So,
add that.
yeah. I mean, they already have it. They just have to update their, what is it, the stormwater management? Yeah.
100-year
With
stormwater.
the numbers they already have.
This
And then this is
It-
already
it-
on there.
point of clarification, the stormwater management has already been submitted.
Yep.
So for clarification, if I may ask this question, you're thinking that they just need to update their storm management with the appropriate
With the 100-year.
department,
100-year plan.
with the 100-year plan. I don't think you know what's involved in changing one of these, but maybe Emily can, or Leo, someone over there can tell you what's involved in it, but you'd have to change, you'd have to submit it all over again and change and wait months for that to change.
I mean, we have it on the record that they have.
Perhaps if it's a condition of
Correct.
approval, it may be
Yeah.
a little bit.
We have
But
it in the minutes.
to-
We will have it in the minutes.
We just need to make sure we have it noted in the, like, in the minutes.
So, because they stated they had it, and if anybody wanted to see it or whatever, they can look at their.
Well, we
numbers.
have this stormwater right here.
Yeah, that's the
It's
50,
there, but it's based on the 50
right?
year. But they did say after they talked to Concom, it was in consideration for the 100-year, correct?
It always was. It was always designed for the 100-year. We're only required to design up to 50-year per the regulations, so that's what we submitted on. But our system can handle the 100-year, and that's how it was.
So you just have to go to the microphone. I'm so
Just so
sorry.
we have it on record.
Sorry.
I apologize. Yeah, so our stormwater report shows up to the 50-year. Our stormwater management design was always designed up to the 100-year. It was not relayed in the stormwater report because the regulations do not ask for the 100-year to be kind of outlined, but our system can handle it.
So it's designed for the 100-year,
Yep.
says 50-year. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, and that's
So
on record.
If it's designed for
minutes,
100-year,
yeah.
it should be able to accommodate 50
And
years.
that's on
Yeah.
record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just make sure that's noted in the records.
Okay.
Just make sure that's noted in the minutes,
Right.
please. All right.
Those are the
Nate, you
only
got
notes I
anything?
had.
So I just wanted to clarify, none of the data in regards to the 100-year storm and the ability for the system to support it is available to the board or the general public, because that's all just internal data that's not part of the reports.
Yeah, that's correct. And it's not included in the report because it's not a requirement.
Okay, thank you.
All set, Nate? Yohi? You all set? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Slowly,
Okay, all right, I'm gonna make a motion
slowly.
slowly. Oh, I'm not gonna do too slowly because it's 7:42. All right, let's see. So I'll make a motion to approve planning board case 26-03 with the following conditions. Number one, execution and recording of a notice of voluntary lot merger for parcels identified as lots 1-2 through 1-5, as well as lots 15-11 through 15-13 on assessor's map R20.
And 1-2 and 1 through dash
I-
5 is also
I said,
known
yeah.
as
Yeah.
15 dash. So if people see this, it's also known as 15-2 through 15-5.
Okay.
Yep.
2, receipt of each of the following state agency permits: New Hampshire DES alteration of terrain permit, New Hampshire DES wetlands permit, and New Hampshire DOT driveway permit for modification. Well, that has to do with the entrance onto Route 132. Receipt of the Tilton Sewer Commission service connection approval. Receipt of Tilton Northfield Water District service connection approval. Receipt of a performance guarantee in an amount and form acceptable to municipal officials to serve as financial surety for full and final completion of improvements located within the public right-of-way at Business Park Drive, installation and maintenance of effective erosion and sedimentation controls throughout the duration of construction and site restoration in the event of abandonment. The addition of a note to the final site plan acknowledging that a conditional use permit to allow impervious lot coverage exceeding 15% of the sub, are we under?
Uh,
Do we have to do that one for this one?
You're gonna
Yes.
do
That'll
the,
be separate.
Yep,
you're gonna do the conditional use after
We got
this.
that here.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Receipt of correspondence from the planning board, our third-party consultant engineer, acknowledging all comments and recommendations offered in the correspondence dated March 24th, 2026 are resolved to his satisfaction. Successful town driveway approvals on Business Park Drive. Abide by all local, state, and federal regulations. Abide by all local signage ordinances. Update ADA parking spaces.
Yeah.
And this is based on receipt of variances granted by the Zoning Board of Adjustment on February 18th, 2025. Reference Tilton ZBA case ZB 25-02. And the determination that upon fulfillment of those present approval conditions imposed by the planning board, this proposal will satisfy all remaining requirements of the town of Tilton's adopted land use ordinances and regulations. Good luck. I need a second if anyone
I'll
wants.
second it.
I make a quick, I'm so sorry to
Go
do this, but in the last item, you just said receipt of variances granted by the Zoning Board of Adjustment on February 18th, 2025. We should also reference that we were at the ZBA in February of 2026, since this approval is contingent on both packages of variances.
I thought there were no variances issued in 2026.
We needed one variance that was issued in 2026 for related to lots 12 and 13 that got added. So you guys are working off the 2025
Yep,
site plan approval.
okay.
We've received one additional variance. I just, for record keeping, I want to make sure that's referenced, and I need to use it.
All right.
And if you have the case number too.
It was granted by the ZBA on February 17th, 2026. And it's ZB case number 26-05.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right. So
You have to amend,
Amend
the
it.
second
I
is
have
to
to-
withdraw, and
Amend
you
it.
have to amend
well,
it.
I'm gonna offer,
Amend that one.
I'm gonna amend it,
Clause.
yeah, that based on the following findings, receipt of variances granted by the Zoning Board of Adjustments on February 18th, 2025. Reference Tilton ZBA case 25-02, and also granted by the ZBA on February 17th, 2026, reference ZBA case 26-05.
Mhm.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Seconded by Jane. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes at 7:48. Now, we also have to have the application for a conditional use permit for groundwater protection. Everyone have that in their packets.
I gave you mine.
Well, I have
I
mine.
gave it here. I gave it to him too.
I have it, actually. So,
Do we have to bring this application to the
that's what I was
board
just
like
gonna
the
ask.
rest, or?
Have it late.
Is that the procedure, Pat?
We have to bring this out for approval, yeah. All right,
I make a motion to bring the application for conditional use permit for groundwater protection to the board.
I'll second it.
the motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes, so. There's a checklist here.
All of these say to the Conservation Commission, not to planning.
Mhm.
It says checklist for conservation, checklist for conservation. So did this go to conservation first and
They,
it's weird?
Yeah, it's all been checked by the conservation.
No, it says checklist for presenting the project to the conservation.
yeah, that's,
But is it supposed to be
It's a check-
planning?
We had to we did go to Concom as a prerequisite to going for the
Oh,
ZBA in
okay.
February.
yeah, they went in January, I think. Okay, oh, it was in February, yeah.
Yeah, that's just,
Oh, all right.
that's just showing that they went.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess I'll make a motion to accept the application for conditional use permit as substantially
second that.
complete.
Motion is second, as it's substantially complete. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any discussion on the permit itself?
So the comments that we got from conservation, is that relating to this? or
No,
the
it's,
Site plan.
This is different from that, I believe.
So do we have the notes from conservation for this then?
on the back side of the dated, one's dated February 19th.
He don't-
Okay.
So what's this then? So, all right.
So yeah, we already addressed all this.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Well said.
All right.
We already addressed it.
We addressed it. Okay. Any? Yeah, it's, this permit is, that checklist is actually attached to those minutes, so, okay.
I'll make a motion to accept it as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. You have a CUP.
Thank you.
That was easy. That part was easy. All right.
Mr. Chair, have you read into the record, the TCC
Oh,
document?
no.
I did not.
We see that.
The
Which
dated-
one?
Yeah, that one.
The one dated March 19th?
They just want the Conservation Commission letter read into the minutes. That's all.
Okay. This is on,
Is,
for the one dated the 19th?
No, I don't think so. You're all set.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
We'll see you the next time. All right, so this is, it's not really in a letter format. I guess it's in a memo format
Yeah.
to the Tilton Planning Board from the Tilton Conservation Commission. RE, the proposed project winning dated March 19th, 2026. Enclosed amended minutes from February 16th, 2026, Tilton Conservation Commission. Commission response to Planning Board, February 17th, 2026. Checklist from January 13th, 2025, and amended checklist from an unknown date, 2026. After reviewing the Stormwater Management Report, March 16th, 2026, and the alteration of terrain report, the Conservation Commission has the following comments. We strongly recommend that drainage for the entire project should be sized for a 100-year storm, not a 25 or 50-year storm as shown on the plans. We strongly recommend that the design include 2 oil water separators on the merged lots on both sides of the project in order to prevent petroleum products and sand from reaching the excellent down gradient wetlands. The revised undated checklist from the applicant shows no oil water separators are planned. A maintenance plan should be included. Snow storage is inadequate and the snow storage site should be confined to paved areas and shown on all plans. The TCC strongly recommends that large boulders be put in place to prevent snow from being pushed into the wetlands and uplands. Snow dumping should not be left to the discretion of the plow operator. 1,500 2 to 3 gallon containerized native trees and shrubs need to be planted in undisturbed areas and should include a 2-year survival guarantee. A map indicating the location of suggested plantings has been placed in the front of the stormwater management report. For a project this size, we would hope that the town has a third-party review. We'd repeat that. For a project this size, we would hope that the town has a third-party review the proposed drainage plans and stormwater management report. And that is all that I have.
Yep.
All right. And we will include that into our minutes. Let's see. I've lost my place. We can fold that up. Where is my agenda? There it is. Our next item of business is the approval of minutes of February 24th, 2026. Does everyone had a chance to review those? Oh,
Make a motion.
they're there.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Is there a second?
Can I second if I'm going to abstain? All right.
I'll second.
Second.
Yeah,
I'll second.
Second. Okay.
I'll second. Sorry. I'll just quickly refresh you my memory. Any discussion?
I want to say it was helpful because I wasn't here and these minutes actually help for today's cases.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure the minute producer will appreciate that comment. All right, that's Miss Cindy, right? Cindy does these minutes, right?
Sue.
Sue, all right, Sue will appreciate that. Sorry. All right, did we approve those? Oh,
You
We
have
got a second.
It's
There's
on-
a motion and a second.
okay, okay.
Right.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Abstentions?
Abstain.
Abstain.
2 abstentions. Any nays? Did that in the wrong order. All right. Motion passes. Is there any other business to come before this board this evening?
Motion to
We have
adjourn.
someone named Betty Lou on and someone waiting for name.
Betty Lou who?
I don't know.
And they just came on.
Oh, if they'd like to talk.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Non-debatable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:59.
And I want 3 people to hang around for other business.